Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have an airbrushing video. I've had a lot of questions recently about how to ombre using the airbrush. Some people are having problems where it looks too watery, or it's just not looking it's not looking like blended. And I have worked so hard to try to get that perfect blend as if you were using acrylic. So I wanted to show you guys how I get that. So you're gonna need 100% pure acetone, the color of your choice. I'm using iGel Beauty, and I'm also using the iGel Beauty mini airbrush, and then an old brush. You want an old brush because you're going to be mixing the acetone and the polish, and the acetone definitely messes up the brushes. And then I already painted the base. So basically what I like to do is pour the acetone midway, and then I'll do anywhere from like 4 to 6 drops of the polish, just depending on the pigment of it. So I'll go in there and then I'm gonna mix it really good. You want to make sure I like to use a brush instead of like a dotting tool or something like that, because those bristles get down in there where the needle is. So I make sure I go back and forth, side to side, round, like all over, and really get in there and mix that really good, because if you don't mix it, the polish is probably gonna end up at the very bottom where the needle is, and then it's gonna be clogged and it's just not gonna look good. So after I mix it, I'll put a couple more drops in, just depending on the color really. Like this is a lighter nude, so I put in a little bit more just to make sure that it looked, good. And then once I'm done mixing it, you always want to do a test spray. You will notice though, like with my hand piece, I messed up the iGel one, so I purchased a new one on Amazon, and this one is amazing. I would just say if you have the iGel hand piece, to loosen the back as much as it can possibly go, so that way you always have like full spray, because this one doesn't have that, and so I can always go like 100%. You don't want that the trigger point to like slow it. You want it to be as fast as it can possibly go. So I ran out because I didn't have enough polish in there. It was a little watery, so, and that's okay. Usually the first one is always like that when you're learning the consistency of the polishes or the color of it. So again, I'm just going in there. I'm gonna put more polish this time, so that way I can make sure that we get a nice full coverage. And then again, mix. I can't stress enough how much you need to mix, because if you don't mix the acetone and the polish, that mixture, the consistency, it just isn't going to be right. So you want that really nice consistency. Though the acetone is always going to dilute the color, so you want a lot of color as well. So just make sure like you're mixing. I will put like 2 or 3 drops and then mix, and then a couple more drops and then mix, and then I just play with it, honestly. Like I do not go by the rules that the instruction sheet or whatever that iGel sends you, because like what is a couple 2 drops of acetone, I think it was, to 1 drop of polish? That's not going to give you anything, to be honest. I tried it and I was like what is this? So I fill the acetone halfway. That's tip number 1. Always use the acetone first, because if you use the polish first, it's gonna go inside the needle or where the needle is, and it's gonna clog it. You're gonna have to spray for a long time in order to get how you want it. So definitely always go in with the acetone first, at least halfway. Or if you're just trying like 1 nail, I would go, just a little less, maybe 1/4 of the way. But 2 drops or 4 drops, whatever, it's not gonna give you anything. So definitely go in with the acetone first, do your drops of polish, And then also, when I was watching videos, I saw a lot of people do it the opposite way that I'm doing it. So say I put the nude color down first, and then I'm trying to ombre with the white. In my opinion, so when you're doing acrylic, you always put that white down first, and then you blend the nude or the pink or whatever color you're doing from the cuticle down. You're blending that. So it only made sense that you do that with the airbrush. So I put the white base down first because white is so opaque. It's just, I've tried it the other way and it does not blend. It doesn't look good at all. So I always put the white down, or whatever color is more opaque, I always put that color down first as the base, and then I'll go in with the nude or the pink or whatever color ombre my customer is asking for. In this particular case, it was the white and the nude. So I put the white down first, and then I'm ombreing that nude because the nude is gonna turn more opaque because it's going over the white, and then that blend is just gonna look so good. So again, we're just mixing. Remember, mix, mix, mix. It's not gonna mess up the polish or give you bubbles or anything like that, so don't be afraid to mix. And then, so I always, when I do ombres, I always do 2 coats, 2 airbrushing coats, and I always cure in between. Like as soon as I'm done with this one, it's gonna cure, and then I'm gonna go to the next, like that. So I don't let it, well, I let it sit sometimes. It just depends. Like if it looks a little splotchy, I'll let it sit for a little bit because then it gives it time to kind of even out and it looks better. So with the first layer that I do, I like to really focus on the cuticle area and get that part like as dark as I want it, kind of, and then I'll go up a little bit, but I'm not gonna go fully to the middle because that second coat is where we're gonna really see the magic and blend. So a question I was asked was, sometimes my ombre looks watery, like I sprayed it with a spray bottle. That has definitely happened to me in the past. I would say that it was too much acetone to not enough polish. So you really want to make sure that when you're mixing them, the consistency is good. And the best way to test that is to spray it on the napkin or the paper towel or whatever you're spraying it on to test. And then if it's looking okay, I would say go ahead and try it on the nail. And it's not hard because if you're working with gel, it doesn't cure until it's cured. So you can just wipe it off with a alcohol pad or something, and then retry it, or add more polish, whatever you have to do. I've done that too. And then another thing I would say it could be is you're too close. So if you can see, I'm pretty far away and I'm constantly moving that handpiece. I do not stop moving it. If you're spraying in one spot, it's gonna give it that effect that it's sprayed with a spray bottle, or because you're just spraying in one spot. So you want to keep on moving both. Like if you can see right here, I'm moving that handpiece like crazy, and then I'm also moving the nail. So always move it. Make sure that you're a far enough distance away, and then make sure the mixture is a good consistency. As far as consistency goes, I don't have like the perfect ratio because every color is different. This color is a lighter color, so I need more of it, and then I have a couple colors that are darker that I've used, and you don't need as much. You only need like 3 drops and it looks amazing. So it really just depends on the polish. Okay, so again, like I said, you're gonna want to move that hand piece, move it, move it, move it. And I'm looking right now at the hand piece and I'm so surprised, like none of my mixture falls out ever. Like it just doesn't. It's so cool. It just stays in there, and I move it. Like you guys can see that mixture is going side to side, back and forth. But I feel like it's mixing it at the same time as I'm spraying it, and it flows. It flows. It's messy, but it's fun. Once you guys get the hang of it, I know you're just gonna love ombre. Like, that's my new favorite thing to do. I feel like every set I do, I just want it to be ombre because it's so pretty. It's finally getting easier for me, and I'm glad I can give tips and tricks because all of the stuff that I've heard or seen has happened to me. So the way I fixed it, I have like let you guys know, and I'm trying to give all the tips and tricks that I have to help you guys. So if you guys do an ombre or something and you learn something from me, if you tag me or send it to me, like I would be so happy. Or if you guys are still having any problems or anything like that, just message me or comment down below and I'll help like the best that I can. But yeah, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch up until I get to that second coat, and then I'll talk more about that. Okay, so right here I got a little hair. I don't know where that hair came from, but it made me really mad. Sometimes you're able to get it off with a brush if you're really careful and gentle, which just like this one I was able to, but sometimes you're just gonna have to wipe it off and restart. Okay, I got it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna spray another even coat, and then I'm gonna kind of focus it where that hair was, so that way any like pieces that I moved or anything like that, anything I messed up, it's gonna fix it. And then I'm not gonna cure this right away. I'm gonna let it sit until I finish the next nail because I want to give it time to settle, so that way that ombre looks good. You don't want to cure it right away because we just messed with it. We just took out that hair and it gave it like some little like divots or ridges or whatever. So I'm just letting it sit there. It's not curing right now. I'm working on the other one, and then I'll cure it in a little. I'll look at it and then I'll cure it and make sure it's good. And then when we do that second coat, it's gonna cover everything. So don't freak out if you get like a hair on the nail or something. 9 times out of 10 you can get it off with that little brush, but if you can't, it's not a big deal. I just wipe it off and restart. It might even be quicker that way, to be honest, but I wanted to see for the sake of the video if I could get it off, and then how it would look after. And it looked perfect. It didn't look like there was a hair. It didn't look like anything. So right here I'm checking it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cure it because it looked good. And then another thing that I wanted to say really quick is that when I do the first coat, I always use that entire mixture that I make inside of the airbrush. I always use the entire mixture just because I feel like it gives it the best look. And then when I go in with that second coat, you're only gonna need like a little bit just to finish that blend and make it look even better. So yeah, basically I'll mix it every single time for every new nail when it's the first coat, and then the second coat I'll mix it, and I usually only use like a fourth of it, so I'll get like 2 or 3 nails done usually with one mixture. Okay, so now we're on to the second coat. I only left the thumbnail because I just wanted to show you guys really quick how that second coat is really major when you're doing ombre. If you only do one coat, I mean, it looks good from what you can see right here, but when I look close up, it's not the perfect blend. So when you put that second coat, it gives it a nice even coat over the first one, and then it gives it like a really soft coat over that middle area to really blend it and make it look good. So I left this part in here so you guys could kind of just see how that second coat works. And then after that, I'm gonna kind of go over really quickly how to clean it after each use. Okay, so now we're done with the set, and we want to make sure that our airbrush is ready for use next time. So what I like to do and what has worked for me is I will fill it with pure acetone and just spray until it's clear. I like to go fill it twice, so I'll fill it once, spray it completely, and it usually runs clear by then, and then I'll fill it again, and then it'll still run clear. So then I'll go in with just a little alcohol pad, or you can use regular alcohol and put it on, you know, a wipe or something, and I'll clean the outside of it. And then I really like to get in right there because that's where the needle is, and I like to push that alcohol like in there, so that way it cleans out the inside of that. And then I'm just spraying again with acetone and making sure that it's running clear. And then I like to grab another alcohol pad, and right here I'm just gonna clean that outside part right here because it gets really sticky. If you're working with acetone and gel and stuff, it gets really sticky. So then this piece right here is really important. You want to be very careful when you're cleaning this because there is a little tiny black rubber like ring around it that you don't want to lose. And then when you're cleaning the needle, just be very gentle because that's how I messed up my last one. I bent it a little bit. It was still working good, but I just don't do that. Just be gentle when you're cleaning it. And then these two pieces come apart, and I like to pour a little bit of acetone just to like get things moving. As long as you clean it like right when you're done, it's gonna stay like wet, basically, the gel, and it's gonna be super easy to clean. But you want to get in there. I like to stick like the corner of the alcohol pad in there and like twist it around really good, and then you'll see like a lot of gel comes out of there. But it's good if you do it right away because then it'll just be done for the next time. It's not going to get messed up, nothing like that. Okay, so we're done cleaning it. I'm just cleaning the outside really quick, and then I'm gonna do one more little like pass of acetone just to, you know, make sure it's totally clean, and then it's ready for next use. If you want me to go more in depth and like really take it apart and show you guys how to take the needle out and stuff, let me know down below. But off camera I did the top coat just to show you guys what it's gonna look like, and then I also added in the stones and the outline that my customer requested, and that's the final look. They came out so cute. I'm also going to show you guys what they look like applied. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I lost you anywhere, or if you have any other questions at all, please let me know and I'll do the best that I can to help you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so that way you always know when we upload. Thanks guys, bye.